Hello? Thank you for being in a new video. This time I have the ZTE Axon 55G with me, and I'm going to share with you what I like the most and the least after testing it. So, if you are thinking of buying this device, first let me tell you, don't buy the ZTE Axon 55G without watching this video. Consider its launch price, which in Mexico is 5,999 pesos. Although, remember that the prices here are not the same as there. So these positive and negative points could vary if the price in your region changes a lot. Remember that I have a full video review available in case you want to know absolutely everything about it. Let's start with what I like the most. Its design is extremely attractive, very thin, curved screen, and this screen is AMOLED with 120 Hz. That is, it is a spectacular screen that at this price will be very difficult to find in other devices. Generally, others are going to offer you flat screens and IPS screens instead of AMOLED screens. So here we have better color, better premium look, better contrast, better viewing angles. Overall, it's a screen that really stands out too much in this category. And by having this screen, it also has always on. That is, this feature that allows you to have a faceplate or a clock that is always showing even if you have your device locked. This feature is present only in devices that have AMOLED screens, and that is why at this price it is going to be very rare that you find something like this. On the back cover, you have a light ring. This is a distinctive feature that you're not going to find on other devices, and this light ring you can customize it to turn on different light for certain notifications, and also to tell you the charging status and other things. So, in addition to being a distinctive feature, it's also useful. It also includes fingerprint reader inside the display. This is another benefit as a consequence of having an AMOLED display, and again, in the price range, it's not a common feature. Although I honestly prefer external readers, which are much faster, but having an in-display fingerprint reader does give you a much more modern touch. The 4800 mAh battery doesn't look spectacular, but it is good. It also has 33-watt charging. It also includes the ability to project your screen wirelessly. At this price point, there are other devices with that feature, although there are some that only project to Chromecast. But this device does project to multiple screens. It also includes a physical proximity sensor and even a geomagnetic field sensor. The Unisoc T606 processor is really fast. I know it might make you a bit wary because Unisoc processors are usually pretty simple and are usually only found in entry-level devices. But I've tested it and it's one of the newer processors, and honestly it performs very well, especially for a nimble opening of applications. It also has 6 GB of RAM that are very well used. You can even add another 10 virtual gigabytes, but I don't recommend it as much. What you should know is that even though the RAM doesn't sound that spectacular, it does better compared to other devices that might have 8 GB of RAM but with worse management. So here I think it's well optimized software. It also has 256 GB of storage. It seems that recently ZTE has launched very good proposals, although in past years not so much. So possibly not many people would consider buying a ZTE nowadays, but this one certainly goes some way to vindicating the brand. But not everything I liked, let me tell you what not. It does not have Gorilla Glass, and the fact of having a curved screen could somehow give us distrust because curved screens can have this perception of being much more fragile, and if we do not guarantee that it has a special protection, we can become fearful. I have not dared to throw it to test its resistance. It has mono sound, no headphone jack, and no high-resolution codecs. That is to say that in everything that has to do with sound, the experience will be very simple. In this aspect, generally Motorola devices will give you a better experience because they do have everything that this one does not. It also doesn't have a quick launch gesture to enter the camera. This may not be such a big deal, but there are other devices that with double tap or some gesture you can quickly enter the camera to take pictures, and here it does not. The front camera is simple. Do not expect very high quality photos with this camera because you will not find them here. The rear camera has very inaccurate colors. That is to say, in some scenarios the colors will come out a bit weird. In other scenarios the colors will come out better. Even while you are taking the picture it might suddenly change color. So it is not very accurate in this aspect. The burst photography is going to be slow, and even the focus does not stay accurate. As you will notice in many aspects of the camera, this device is not going to stand out much. It also doesn't have the split screen option. This is an option to use 2 applications at the same time, and most other devices do integrate these capabilities. In fact, the absence of split screen usually only appears on the low end, but the lowest you find, and not seeing that feature here really gets too annoying. Although this could be corrected with an update which hopefully they will send out. ZTE doesn't have any kind of ecosystem. You know that it is generally called ecosystem to everything that has to do with other devices that coexist well with this cell phone. So ZTE doesn't have a special watch or a tablet or computer, and that all coexists well. It feels very weak in this aspect. And finally, the processor, despite being good in applications, in games it does not have so much graphics support. That is, you will not be able to enjoy many special effects and the like. So if you want to play games, I insist, although the processor is good, it will not give you available high quality or things like that. But if you already bought it, let me know your experience in the comments. Tell me if you think like me that the camera is suddenly not as stable, and also let me know if the processor has worked as well for you as it has for me. For the moment, we have reached the end of this video. If you liked it, you know you can let me know, and we'll see you next time.